All right, and we are live. Hello, how is everybody tonight on this lovely Monday? Monday is, of course, everyone's favorite day of the week. So I thought, what better day to do a stream while everybody's cheerful and happy. But hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody had a good Monday. Right off the bat, Nico, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey, Piz and PWO family, hope it's a great stream. No, it will be. I'm blacking out until I've seen Talk to Me, but always support my Mayhem mentor. Thank you very much for that, Nico. Appreciate that very much. Yes, we will be talking about Talk to Me at some point tonight. We'll try not to go too spoilery though. Let me do some quick shout outs here before we get the ball rolling. Where does Pizzo get these waiting videos? I make them. Or I should say I edit them. I edit them together. We have got with us tonight, we've got Roland. What's up, Roland? We've got Andy Shoemake. We have got CJM. We got Griff. We got Impto Bat 64. Nice. We got Bog Zombie here. We got Dude. We got Cliff Booth in the chat. Yes, Paul Rubens has officially left the building. Paul Rubens passed away at the age of 70. Very sad. Very sad. We have Future Dead Camper. How are you tonight? We have got Boogie Manny. We've got Scratch Burno, Brent Madison, Mike B. What's up, Mike? RJ Scott Inky is here. We got Dave in the house tonight. We got PlayStation 9. Yeah, right on. Hope everybody's doing well. Thank y'all for tuning in, hanging out with us tonight. The Trash Stash is here too. We can't leave out the Trash Stash. Hi, Trash Stash. Joining me tonight, I have some very lovely faces in the green room waiting to join us, making his triumphant return after a respite. I'm just going to say it. He was serving some time, but he's out now. All the way from the UK. The real Fifth Beatle. What's up, Mike?
What's up, Piz? What's up, man? Yeah. Long-awaited return.
I know. How was the clink?
It was okay. It was okay.
Okay.
It was I can't complain.
Okay. 3 hots in a cot, a roof over your head.
It's all good.
Yeah, it's all good. Well, it's good to see you, man. It's good to have you back.
Good to be back.
Yeah. How's life been treating you?
It's not too bad. Yeah, I mean, it's just work, and obviously, spoiler alert, I wasn't really in jail. It's literally, Tuesday night streams, 3 a.m. finish. If you're in the UK, if you're up at work at 7 a.m., it doesn't really go well together. So don't work Tuesdays currently. So a Monday night stream is okay. I can jump on board. But yeah, it's good to be back in here. Yeah, looking forward to tonight's stream.
Yeah, but we're definitely glad to have you back, man. Definitely glad to have you back. Also joining me tonight from the Flesh Wound Features YouTube channel, Dan. What's up, Dan?
What's up, Piz? How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How have you been?
I'm doing well. Busy, but doing good.
I know you're busy. You're doing your thing with Flesh Wound Features. Tell us about this collaboration with XPW.
Well, Todd edits. It's going to be Flesh Wound Features is putting out their Blu-rays and DVDs and a lot of other stuff I can't talk about yet. But yeah, a lot going on with XPW right now. Okay, cool. Where can wrestling fans out there find XPW? StreamXPW.com. If you like really insane wrestling, really bloody wrestling, particularly last night, you won't be disappointed.
Yeah, I heard it was very bloody and very sacrilegious.
Heavy on the blasphemy last night. Yes, creative use of barbed wire.
Dan, was it XPW? I don't know if you shared that on Discord. I saw it somewhere recently, like the last week, where a guy just jumps like from like 20 feet and misses completely and just lands on a hard, solid floor. And I don't know if that was
no. That's Botchamania, I think you might have been seeing.
Is it?
That's
okay.
Yes. When wrestling goes wrong. But yeah, no. It's pretty wild stuff last night. And I don't see your prison tats at all, Mike. So you've covered
those up nicely. Covered those up nicely.
Yes.
So, but it's good to see you, Dan. Hope you're doing well, my friend.
I am.
Also joining us tonight, he holds the title for the world's tallest Chris. I think he's up to like 8 feet tall at this point. He's still growing. Strangely enough, I don't know. Anyway, XPW should look at signing him.
They would be down.
Have you ever thought about that?
7-footers. I'm sure I can get him a tryout.
Okay. Chris, you heard that.
It wouldn't be the first wrestling promoter to try and come for me, and probably not the last. But I enjoy my knees too much, and I'm in my 40s, so a little too late for that, I think.
The time is past. The time is past. You know, for some reason, like Instagram keeps the Instagram algorithm keeps sending me videos of the Great Khali, like working out. And you know, he always had that, you know, he was such a huge guy, you know, that kind of weird walk, you know.
Yeah.
It's a lot worse now. But he's still in good shape, it looks like. And I mean, he's still working out. But I'm like, why is Instagram sending me Great Khali stuff? Like, okay, you know. But yeah. Here's a really good question, Dan. I'm sure you're going to be in on this one as well. That Hellraiser box set that's coming out, the 4K box set. I'm excited for it. I'm guessing you are too.
I am. I do suspect there's going to be an American version of it.
Okay.
So I don't know. There might be something a little different. I don't know anything for sure, but I'm a little hesitant right now.
Ooh, okay. All right. I mean, that would be, I mean, of course, you know, this is a 4K set, so it's going to be region free.
That is true. Yeah.
But, you know, it'll be much easier to, if there's an American release, to get that one, you know. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. And speaking of physical media releases, tonight on Terror Vision's YouTube channel, they're going to be announcing 20 plus new Blu-ray and 4K releases. And from what I've heard, there's going to be some bangers in there. So keep your eyes peeled for that.
Yes.
We have got a new visitor backstage. Someone who has not been with us for a little while, but I am very happy to see them here. It is Matt, Dream Emulator. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, guys? How you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Good to be here. Happy to be here. It's been a while.
It has been a little while. I hope you've been well.
I have been. I hope you have been too.
Yeah.
And Terror Vision is killing it lately, by the way.
Yeah. I'm 20 plus releases. Wow.
I feel like they just put out Horror Workout and they've had like 10, 15 since then, and that was a couple months ago. They're just cranking them out.
I know. Yeah, keep them coming is what I say. Keep them coming. So, yes, indeed. Well, how have you guys been? Have you seen any good movies lately? Any bad movies? I mean, of course, Talk to Me's the big release that came out over the weekend, the big genre release. But let's put that one on the back burner. Dan, I know you were raving about Barbie on social media the other day. Tell us about it.
Love it. I got my Barbenheimer tramp stamp. You know, just did that before. Had a great time at the movies. Just good shit. Got good stuff. Sorry.
I'm glad. You know, somebody else who's been championing that film is Lorne. He can't be here tonight because he's actually at another showing of Barbie. The guy's seen it like 12 times so far. He can't.
He did the full back tat. So
Wow.
he went a
Damn.
little harder. It's got like the
Dedication.
bomb and then just Barbie and Ken holding hands. Full back tat.
I love it. I love it.
Yes.
Love it.
He'll unveil it on the next show, I'm sure.
Wow. Damn. So yeah, well, wild. That's absolutely wild. Anybody else thoughts on Barbie? Matt, Chris, Mike?
Not seeing it.
No thoughts.
No,
I'll say-
okay,
I'll-
come on.
I
Okay,
saw it.
the thing made like $10 billion. People saw it. Okay, just
Oh, yeah.
admit that you saw it. Okay,
Yeah, I mean, I did the double feature, the Barbenheimer.
did you really?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Me and Sam did. We
Okay.
saw Oppenheimer first. That was really good. Then we saw Barbie afterwards. I enjoy it more when I think about it like afterwards, but kind of sitting through it is kind of like, okay, this is not for me.
Mm,
But it wasn't as bad as a lot of people seem to think it was, but it really wasn't that amazing, as it were.
okay. And
But
if you
okay.
if you saw both back to back, that's an all day event at the.
Oh
theater.
yeah, it's 3 hours for Oppenheimer and a little over 2 hours for Barbie.
Damn.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Though I will say both were entertaining enough to where it didn't feel like their whole runtime.
Okay.
The whole Barbie trailer, from what I can gather from the trailer, it comes across like a little bit like Truman Show, a little bit like that Ryan Reynolds movie from a year or two ago, where he's in like a video game.
Free
not the
Guy.
Fall Guy, Free Guy,
Free
Free Guy.
Guy.
Yeah.
Mm.
From the trailer, that's what it comes across as. But
It's sort of like that. It's sort of like basically meta political commentary on social stuff, but it's not as one side as everybody believes it is. It feels like kind of reprocessing things after seeing it, kind of stuff.
Mm.
So it's not terrible, but I'm not the target audience for it. But there are some really funny parts. I will say Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling are perfect for their roles.
Ah,
And basically scenes with just them I really enjoyed.
I think
Okay.
as a single guy going alone, that would be very suspicious. They think I'm there to like skin some teenagers or something. I'd just be really out of place.
Not
Like,
really,
I
because
don't
most of the audience was everybody over the age of like 30, and then a couple of like younger girls that shouldn't have been there for that kind of movie because it was kind of like pushed at PG-13 rating.
Mhm.
I have no desire to see Barbie, but
Yeah,
yeah, I kind of wanted to see. I mean, I love Christopher Nolan. I've liked pretty much all of his movies,
Mhm.
but like that 3 hour runtime, really, like, I mean, I've got to like clear my schedule just to watch a movie, and like I was talking to somebody about it the other day, and they were like, "Well, don't you want to go?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do want to see it, but like, I'm probably just going to wait till streaming." I was like, "Yeah, I kind of know how it ends." So,
I mean, you think you do, but this is Nolan. The way what you think is ending is like 2/3 of the movie.
oh, okay, that makes sense. See, I thought it would
Yeah.
end on like the the Oppenheimer's famous quote. Well, what
That's at
is
the
it?
beginning.
That's at the very beginning. Okay, all right.
It's not at the beginning. It's early on, but when he
Mhm.
first delivers it, it's a weird place he delivers it.
Ah, I am become death.
The Destroyer of Worlds.
The
Yeah.
destroyer of worlds. Yeah, like look up the real footage of that, because Oppenheimer's just gone. He's seen the bomb go off. He's seen like this could end everything, and like I created it, and he's just gone.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
but Matt, did you see both or one or the other?
I was gonna go see Oppenheimer, but to your point about clearing your schedule, I forgot I was on call for work, and I was gonna go see it in IMAX at 70 millimeter,
Oh,
and it's like a half an hour
Ooh.
drive there plus 3 hours. It was like a 5 hour thing, and I ended up giving my ticket to my buddy. So I want to go see it this week, but I want to go see it in IMAX if I go. So I gotta commit.
you did you did spend your time wisely at that video store bar that you posted on your channel.
That was very cool.
That sounds
That was
cool.
fun. Yeah, it was a like video rental bar inside of a Alamo Draft House down in Raleigh. And they just had tons of VHS tapes and DVD. It was awesome. So worth the trip if you're out in the area.
We've got the Daily Ghost in the chat tonight. Ghost, man, we've missed you. You need to hop on if you can, man. We've got our old buddy Jess in the chat, Cable Channel 11. What's up, Jess? How you doing, man? There he is. So, okay, well, let's move on to Talk to Me, and let's try and keep it as spoiler free as possible. If you see, is everybody here seen Talk to Me?
Not yet.
No.
Okay, so just me and Dan have seen it. Okay, all right. Well, Dan, have you reviewed it on Flesh Wound yet?
Not yet. But I will. I don't mind saying I loved it. I thought it was awesome, and we needed a really good horror movie this year. We've had a few, but it has been slow, and it's a very unique possession story. But I don't really want to push it as a possession story. I feel like that gives people an idea of something else. It's a lot more unique than that, and yeah, I loved it. I haven't gotten to check out your review yet. I'm kind of curious what you thought.
I totally agree with you about the possession thing. And I hope people don't think they're walking into like a traditional possession movie, because that's really not. It's really not. But I liked it. I liked it. I said it's the best genre movie that I've seen this year. I've not seen Cobweb yet, and I've heard a lot of people give very high praise to that. So
yeah, I like that too.
It's definitely the best genre film I've seen this year. There's some caveats in there for me, but I liked it. I recommend it very much.
Yeah, I hope people go out and check it out. I mean, I promise you it's better than the last Insidious movie.
It was. Oh my god.
Yeah. Which did well, unfortunately. That's why I'm hoping people will go out and support this one, because it is unique, and more importantly, it's legitimately scary. And I'm sure most of you in the chat would probably agree. When is the last possession-based movie that truly frightened you? This one's a nail biter, actually, and it's not a gore film per se, but there are some very uncomfortable, grisly scenes in there that I thought hit quite well. It's really, I would push it more as grief horror than anything else. So
very much.
I hope people go out and give it a shot. It's one of the really good A24 movies, even by their standards.
So according to Bloody Disgusting, it grossed 10 million over the weekend, which, not bad.
No, lower budget movie. It's not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. So yes, and I would absolutely echo those sentiments. No boo scares, which was very refreshing. It's all about, and the final act is really well done. Very suspenseful, very. In my review, I was talking about, Jeremy, when he gets excited, he'll kind of rock back and forth in his chair. With this one, like he was like, you know what I mean? It was some major rocking going on. So I mean, there were a couple of times I thought it might be a little too intense for him. I kind of looked over at him, and I mean, he just had a big grin on his face. You know what I mean? So he's all down for it.
It gets
a bad boy.
Intense.
He is a bad boy. That's for sure. It does get intense. Yeah, it does get intense. And yeah, definitely go and see it. The fact that it's it's an original IP.
Yeah,
it's smaller budget. I'm all for it. Go see it.
Have you checked out the Raka guys who made it? Their YouTube channel. It's basically like a Jackass CKY thing. You would never think.
They did like a Mortal Kombat. That went viral. I mean, they were like big YouTubers anyway, but they did this Mortal Kombat skit, which like the special effects are amazing. It's gory as hell, and that's kind of like what drew me to them. And then a couple of years later, I found out they're like directing like Hollywood movies. I'm like, holy shit! It's like,
I'd heard that they had a YouTube channel. I just didn't really look into it. But I mean, hey, good for them. And they're good filmmakers. So
very good filmmakers. It's not something like I glanced at it like right before, and I'm thinking like, oh god, I hope I'm not getting a bodies sort of thing. Although it certainly didn't look like it from the trailer. And I'm happy to report this was great. Do a double with Cobweb if it's still playing. Cobweb it's similar to a couple other things, which I won't say because that might spoil it. But it is, I think, a really good movie and takes place at Halloween too. So I do feel like, man, I might have sat on that one a little bit. I think it might have drawn some more interest during Halloween season, but it's weird. They're even dropping Haunted Mansion.
Yes, I don't get that at all. Why release Haunted Mansion in July? I mean, that's I don't and it's tanked. Has it tanked?
It tanked and it deserved it. It's a terrible movie. The Eddie Murphy movie is better. So that would be my short review of the Haunted Mansion.
No, I was looking forward to trying to go see it. Looked like some kind of silly kid fun.
It's kind of a waste of a really good cast. Like the cast is great. Danny DeVito, Tiffany Haddish, always thought was funny. It's just very bland. It just felt like something they probably should have just dropped on the streaming service to me. Yeah, but you might like it. I mean, I'm not saying don't go see it. It's just for me, and I'm judging it as a children's movie.
Mm-hmm.
There's, it's some nostalgia as far as like, oh, there's the hitchhiking ghosts and stuff, if you've actually been on the ride. But that was all. I was just underwhelmed.
Yeah. I love the ride. Ride. But so.
Yeah.
Anything else good that you guys have seen recently you want to shout out?
Good? No, I saw Insidious 5, but that wasn't good at all. It's ghost daddy issues. But I was going to say is I finally got around to seeing Cocaine Bear. That was more fun than I expected.
Okay. That one's still on my watch list. I've not gotten around to watching it yet, but it's still up there. So I'll get around to it.
I'll throw one into the mix that Dan recommended. God is a Bullet. Micah Monroe.
Okay.
Yeah, I really enjoy. I mean, I know Dan recommended. He put it amongst the community. Said, you need to watch this movie. Yeah, definitely very, very enjoyable. I think it could have been trimmed by like maybe 20 minutes. I don't think it needed the 2-hour runtime, but yeah, definitely. Micah Monroe is just like, it's like our generation's like Jamie Lee Curtis in a way. She's always doing this sort of movies that we love,
Yeah.
You like revenge movies, it's a must.
That one's definitely on my list as well. Yeah. Yes. And I like Micah Monroe. She just sort of ends up in all these really interesting movies, going all the way back to It Follows, and she was in what was the one with Bill Skarsgård? Victim, or what was that one called? Villains. Yeah, she was in that, and Watcher. And, so
is that significant? She did one last year, Significant Other as well. The sort of backwoods alien takeover movie, which is worth a watch.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah.
Biscuit 36. Biscuit 36 says they're in Disney at the moment.
Oh, nice.
Interesting. Let's talk about some Scream 7 rumors that dropped recently, and the internet's took off running with these. But basically, the gist of it is that the Radio Silence Collective will not be involved with Scream 7 for some reason. And after being behind 5 and 6, something's happened, and apparently, the rumor is that Christopher Landon, who did the Happy Death Day movies, is the front runner to direct it. And there's all sorts of speculation, because recently Christopher Landon followed Mike Flanagan on Twitter, so everybody's like, oh well, Mike Flanagan must be writing it. And he also recently followed Matthew Lillard, so of course Stu's back, right? So it's nothing official has been announced, but that's the rumor that's just taken over X. It's not Twitter anymore, it's X now. So does anybody care? I mean on the panel, does anybody care that we may have a fresh voice behind Scream 7, which it's so weird that they're going to do the first 2 parts of a trilogy and then we'll hand the final part over to someone completely different, you know.
I mean, it works so well for Star Wars. Why not just do it for
Yeah.
Scream?
Well, I mean, yeah.
It's an odd decision for Flanagan. Just,
Yeah.
I mean, Flanagan's a great director, don't get me wrong, but it just seems like I don't know. I kind of doubt that one for some reason.
But Ben Wheatley is directing the Meg 2, which is totally out of left field.
Yeah.
So, you know, if anybody's seen Kill List, the
Yeah.
Meg 2, not
Field in
really similar.
England.
Yeah, not really similar.
Little
movies.
different. I'm looking forward to that one.
There's also a
Actually,
rumor that
it's fun.
is the rumor as well about they're going to focus on the twins as going with the next movie. It's going to be focused on them, or is that just internet nonsense? I don't know.
I at this point, I mean, I don't. Who knows? I think it's probably just a rumor too.
Like, could
I
they
mean,
not afford Jenna Ortega anymore?
I don't know. See, I think it's, I don't know. All this, you know, the strike stuff has just thrown the whole industry into this, you know, spin. But I don't know. Maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. But at first, if you recall, you know, Jenna Ortega is just everywhere. Is she going to have time for Scream 7? So that was a big deal. Is she going to be back in Scream 7? And now there's, you know, apparently this big change that Matt Olimpelli and what's the other guy's name? I can't think of it off the top of my head, but they're not doing Scream 7. Maybe, and I don't know, maybe a fresh voice. I don't know. It's just so weird.
Have they done anything else besides Happy Death Day? Because those are kind of like horror comedies. I don't know how much Scream would work with horror comedy.
Well, he did the Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse, which was also horror comedy.
Yeah.
He did let's see, what else has he done? He directed Paranormal Activity, the marked ones. Is that right? Let me double check here.
What, the last one?
Maybe he just wrote that. He wrote a bunch of the Paranormal Activity movies. Let's see. Oh, he directed Freaky, which I know Lauren loved that one.
So I can't tell if you're being sarcastic. What's he saying?
The most recent thing he directed.
You're being sarcastic or not?
The most recent thing he directed is We Have a Ghost. Oh, We Have a Ghost. I saw that. That was on. That was like a Netflix original movie. Yeah, I completely forgot about that one. And that one had some nice moments in it. It wasn't great, but it had some nice moments in it, I thought.
You actually have a Paranormal Activity alumni in the chat right now in Jess Graham.
Really?
He did the, I don't remember which sequel, but he did the audience reaction commercial ads. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Probably the second one then, wouldn't it be?
Yeah. I think it was the second one.
Yeah, because they didn't really, they didn't really do much of the audience reactions past the second one, I thought.
Yeah, it was that ad everybody saw everywhere where it's just everyone screaming and
everybody's
stuff.
with the night vision.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the big rumor that's taken over social media, and clearly all of us here are just biting our nails to see how it's going to turn out. Matt, Dream Emulator, I know you look like you're on the edge of your seat.
I just, yep. No.
Like after seeing Scream 5 again so recently?
Huh?
Is there any suggestion as to where Is there any suggestion as to where 7 is going to take place? Take it out of New York, please, because that just didn't work for me whatsoever. Take it back to a small town, please. Just anywhere, not New York City.
You know, okay. I mean, I don't know. I mean, everybody complained when Nev Campbell wasn't going to be in Scream 7, and they were like, "Oh, I'm boycotting, not going to watch it," but they watched it anyway. So I think Scream is one of those franchises where, as long as Ghostface is in it, people are going to watch. I think that seems to be the main loyalty. So whoever's directing, whoever's in it, if Ghostface is there, they're going to watch it.
Yeah,
I don't, and I know a lot of people disliked Marissa Barrera. I like her character. She's really the only character in that new series. It's got like some depth. You know, she's got, she's a flawed character. I like that. I think they should focus more on her, really. I don't know. Jenna Ortega's just kind of there. You know,
she's a little bit overrated. I know that's not a popular thing to say right now. She's good, but she's not like blowing my mind yet. She's a very pretty girl. You know, I don't know.
I fear for what the industry does with like whoever is like the hot young actress. They just put her in everything to the point where after about 3 or 4 years, you're just sick of them, sick of seeing them because they're in everything.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, unfortunately, I think what they're doing with her. It's kind of like they're trying to, I don't know. It's just a very, let's get as much out of her as we can in 3 years. And then, you know, bye.
Yeah.
Then we'll get the next one.
She hasn't been bad in anything. She just hasn't like blown my mind to the point where I'm like, yeah, she's the one. I don't know. She's just okay.
Yeah. We've got someone else who's just joined us backstage. Michael, how are you, sir?
I'm good, Piers. How are you guys?
I'm doing very well.
Hello.
I know you're a huge fan of Scream. Tell us about your thoughts on this change at the helm.
You tell me. I've only just jumped on. I've just got back from the doctors. So it just cost me $60, which is great. So yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Well,
what did I miss?
Well, we were just talking about how Scream 7 is apparently not going to be directed by the Radio Silence Initiative or the Radio Silence Collective anymore. It's going to be, according to the rumors, Christopher Landon. So it's going to be a changing of the guard, maybe a whole new vision, a whole new voice. You know.
Okay.
Are you a fan of Scream, Michael?
Oh yeah. I love Scream.
I just guessed that you like.
Oh yeah. I enjoyed a lot. I enjoyed all the Scream movies. I think the one franchise that like it really doesn't have a bad movie. Like they're not as like 4's maybe not the best, but like it's not something like say Halloween.
Yeah. I agree. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about something else. That's still a rumor. We'll see what happens. Mm-hmm. I know everybody is really excited about the Exorcist Believer. And if you saw the trailer, that excitement, I'm sure, skyrocketed. So, thoughts on the Exorcist Believer trailer? Anybody just dive right in?
Where do you start?
Good question. Good question.
I mean, I saw the trailer, and now I'm a believer. It is not a shred of hope in my mind for this movie.
It looks like pretty much every other safe by the numbers possession movie that we've had over the past long time. Really, it doesn't look like an Exorcist. Or well, I mean, like I've said this before, but like I mean, if your name's not Friedkin or Blatty, just leave the Exorcist alone. You're just stop, you know. And they've dumped so much money into this thing, and I just don't feel like there's any excitement for it. There's any want for it, you know. It's like The Exorcist isn't Scream. It's not Halloween. You know what I mean? It's not going to cross over, and you know, it's not going to. You're not going to bring the teen audience into an Exorcist movie. I don't think.
They've gone with this trilogy idea. Like, so they've got the one movie, and then they've gone. Ellen Burstyn's in this movie. She's 90, so they can't really be logistically. Ellen Burstyn, you can't like. I don't mean to sound like depressing, but she's 90, so realistically, what's the chances of her being in all 3 movies? Very slim, realistically.
Very slim.
I mean, it's a franchise that is 50 years old. The third movie, not many people really even know about. unless outside the horror community. The second movie, nobody really knows about or has any feelings for. It's just that one movie from like 1973, 1974. So it's a very strange decision. Is Blumhouse? Is this a Blumhouse involvement?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
there is potential for them to do their sort of spin and use their influence, but I don't know. I mean, it's a very strange. I can see this being like another Cat's Eye, that Stephen King remake disaster from last year. I just don't.
Oh, you
Anybody's
mean
going to go and see this film?
you mean Firestarter?
Zac Efron.
Firestarter.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry,
yeah,
sorry,
Firestarter.
yeah, sorry. I always get them two mixed up. Firestarter, sorry.
Okay,
like
they did
Cat's
kill.
Eye.
No, they did kill a cat in Firestarter. So I mean,
Yeah. I just don't know.
Yes.
I just don't think anybody's going to go and see this film.
At least they're not releasing it in July or August. I mean, I'll give them that. They're waiting until October, so they may get some of the it's Halloween, it's date night. Hey, this is. I remember hearing about something about an Exorcist movie from years ago that was supposed to be scary. Let's watch this. I mean, they may get some of that traffic, but yeah.
We also just had a TV show. It's like I'm just done with Exorcist. It's a classic film, and I love the third one, but it's done. And bringing back these legacy characters is so lame now. Like that's supposed to be enough to make everybody happy. It's just it's you got to give me a good story. And I mean I know some things about it, and I would not be terribly excited for this movie.
I mean, William Peter Blatty's son spilled the beans on the whole plot on Facebook.
Okay.
So I mean, it's all out there, and it did not sound good. I know they've done some reshoots since then, but
brief reshoots. Yeah,
this sounded like they needed let's start from scratch reshoots. You know what I mean?
It is. It'll probably make money, and unfortunately, because I don't know. I love Ellen Burstyn well enough, but like you said, that's not enough for me to really care about this. You're trying to remake a perfect, not remake, but you're trying to recapture the spirit of a perfect film.
Yeah.
It's I don't know.
Do we know if Linda Blair's in it?
Linda Blair is in it to some capacity. If they're bringing Linda Blair and Ellen Burstyn back, just so the two of them can perform The Exorcist at the end, and so both demons can jump into them, and then they can hold hands and run out the window together, it's going to be the worst movie ever made.
Tuck your chin and hit that crash pad, Ellen.
Yeah.
Piers,
Yeah.
we're gonna throw them Louise at the end.
I don't know if you've talked about it, but what did you think of Let Me In? No, talk to me. Sorry.
Oh, talk to me. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit a little while ago, but yeah, I dropped my review today, so I mean it's out there. I liked it. I think it's the best. It's the best genre film I've seen this year.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. So there were a few caveats, but overall, I really enjoyed it, and Jeremy also. He highly endorsed it. 2 thumbs up from Jeremy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah. I think, and like Dan said, we needed that kind of theatrical genre movie, and I hope it does well. I hope it 10 million opening weekend's not bad for it, but go see it. If you've not seen it, go see it. Go see it in the theater.
Yes.
Definitely.
Double it up with Cobweb. I think you'll have a good time.
Yeah. I've heard nothing but good things about Cobweb too, so I'm excited. But yeah, so The Exorcist Believer, that's happening. They've already announced the release date and the title for the next film, which is The Exorcist Deceiver. And I believe was that 2024 or 2025?
4, I believe. Although
Okay,
I think everything's moving, so yeah.
Okay.
But that's going straight to streaming, isn't it?
That's what I heard, but I mean, I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, if I don't know, if Believer's a huge hit, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I don't think I've really not seen too much of an endorsement for it in the chat, to be honest. 2 girls, 1 Pazuzu. That's actually kind of funny. That's kind of funny. Yeah, that's funny.
I will see it if they change the title to that.
Yes. I would recommend it then. But yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go see it. Jeremy wants to see it for some reason. He's dead set on seeing it, so we will see it in the theater. I'm just and maybe not having really high expectations will be a good thing. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just really strange. You were going to say something, Matt?
No, I'm just sighing in anguish. That's all.
But yeah, there's really weird plot details about it. I don't know if I want to go into it and spoil anything, but like, you know, Ellen Burstyn is like an exorcist specialist now because she's written a book about it, and that strained her relationship with Reagan because Reagan feels like she's exploiting her, and it's like, why are you borrowing cues from a Rob Zombie's Halloween film?
Or
You know
even
what I mean?
Scream.
Exactly. Yeah.
But even what about the last 2 Exorcist movies? Nobody even talks about those. Nobody even remembers they exist.
I saw them. I don't remember much about
no,
those.
God, no.
I've never seen
So
them.
it's, you know, there hasn't been a good one since 3. And even there's only been 2 good ones, really.
They're only
Out of 5.
there's only been 2 good ones. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't. There's just not the same. The Exorcist doesn't hold the same cachet as Scream or Halloween. So
No, and the
There's no
people who are doing it,
physical-
it's kind of hit or miss to me.
I
not-
agree.
There's nothing with Exorcist. There's no sort of physical embodiment of the franchise to really put. You know, with Halloween, you've got Michael, you've got Jason. With Exorcist, there's nothing to. You can't put a picture to the franchise really.
There's
Besides
Reagan.
the supernatural horror. There's Reagan, but it's Reagan as a child. I mean, it's
Right,
not
exactly.
a concurrent thing. So it's like
Exactly. And
You know what I mean?
she's not
It's-
even in 3. 3 is a whole different thing.
Mhm.
So, you haven't got like an iconic villain because it's supernatural, which is always a problem. It's,
Right, because how do you differentiate that from every other possession
you
movie?
can't. You
You
can't.
can't.
And there's 1,000,001 of them. During the 2000s, there was 1,000,001 of these.
And that trailer was,
Exorcism of Emily Rose. And they were always.
and that trailer had heavy early 2000s vibes to me. Just
Yeah,
the
definitely.
way it was edited, I was like, what is this?
Mhm.
I don't know.
That's true. That's true.
And the trailer even felt like a PG-13 horror at that. I was like, shouldn't this be a little more like actually kind of scary, spooky,
Yeah,
whatever?
I want to see the Red Band trailer.
It's-
Yeah.
Like, you know,
It's just not going to happen. They're not going to push the bound. They're not going to push the envelope. They're just. It's just going to be safe. It's going to be, you know, it's just
because that's why the first movie did so well. It was so safe.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. People were fainting in the theater. It was so safe. You know
Exactly.
what I mean?
Like,
So-
oh, thank God.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a good point. Future Dead Camper, a trilogy no one asked for, but yet Salem's Lot, which had huge support, has just vanished. Yeah, they need to just drop that on streaming this Halloween season. Just drop it. Let it go.
Second remake of that too. So
Yeah.
true.
Just let it go. Put it out there on streaming and let it go. Let it go. We get the point. It's not good. It's not good. Just put it out there.
I'm
You know?
hoping Believer is it for David Gordon Green. I'm really in the horror genre. I'm just probably not, but
Probably not. Probably not. Yeah. It's but I mean, like, do you remember before Halloween 2018 came out? Everybody was like, "Wow, it's not like a horror guy directing it. It's like a guy who's like a serious filmmaker." You know what I mean? So it's just like, you know, but
Yeah, Pineapple Express.
well, I was talking about like some of the stuff he'd like.
Oh
you
yeah,
know.
no, I know.
Yeah.
Him and Danny McBride, I always think of Pineapple Express.
Yeah. I just hope this Exorcist has a lot of McBride in it. That's what I hope. I hope we get like a scene of the two possessed girls like passing a joint back and forth. You know, I really hope so.
It is the devil's lettuce.
It is the devil's lettuce. Yeah, while they're blaspheming, like hit this. Yeah, So
David Gordon Green is to the horror genre what that phone post was to the little girl in Hereditary. He is awful. He is awful.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's good.
No, that's not happening, Captain Halloween. Don't even put that thought out there in
Oh
the
my
universe.
God.
That's not happening.
Yeah.
What they call it, things?
Jesus, God, no. A trailer that we did get very recently that most people seem to be excited for is Saw X.
Yeah.
Who's excited for Saw X?
I don't know why Elon Musk is making a Saw movie, but whatever.
He's got deep pockets, man.
Yeah.
You know? So
It looks like another generic Saw movie.
Yeah.
Like, what it's set between 2 and 3 or 1 and 2?
1 and
1 and
2,
2,
I think.
yeah.
1 and 2.
Yeah.
So John Kramer's not going to die. So I don't know. Just can we figure something new?
I'll say, is Tobin Bell going to show back up with his backwards cap and like, hey, fellow kids, how's it going?
Yeah.
I just think, I mean, you kind of nailed it. It's like we know where these characters end up, so it kind of blunts the suspense a little bit. I think it'll be a decent movie. I mean, the last two I was kind of on personally.
Was Spiral the last one, or
Spiral?
Yes,
Yeah.
Jigsaw and Spiral. I think it helps having Tobin Bell back because he's just a really compelling character, but it just feels now they're just trying to come up with stuff. I mean, he died so long ago in the story, and now we're still trying to fill in these pieces. It kind of reeks of desperation, but
we accidentally killed him too soon. Shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So if Saw X is a success, then Saw 11 will take place between 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Now the sequels will take place in between the original sequels. So,
but it makes sense. I mean, setting the movie between 1 and 2 it makes sense because, for someone like me, I checked out after 3 when he died. I've not watched a single film after 3, so by setting it between 1 and 2, you're not like ruling me out of getting back into the cinema to watch the film because I've totally lost track of the whole. I don't know what's going on with that franchise anymore. By setting it between 1 and 2, you can get me back into the cinema to watch it. I don't know how have they tried to de-age him in any way because he looked pretty old in 2004. Now this is 20 years later, so if it's
he's eternally old though.
He does.
You know what I mean?
He looked old. He looked old in 2004. It's like so.
Yeah, he looked old 25 years ago. Like he's just one of those guys. Like I don't think I can suspend my disbelief on the aging.
Yeah.
No.
I've still yet to see the trailer. So
it looks good for what it is.
Okay.
Yeah. It'll be entertaining, I think.
Could it revive Saw the way Scream 5 revived Scream? And could we go back to that time or go back to that time when, if it's Halloween, it's Saw?
I don't think it's gone away long enough.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. Scream 4, Scream 5, there was enough time in between for people to, crave it again. It hasn't been that long since Spiral, so I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think it'll do okay, but, at this point, that you're really stretching things to try and keep Tobin Bell in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Surely it can't be a movie that's cost too much to make. Like how much would have cost to make? Maybe 2 million, 3 million. So it's going to make its money.
It'll make money.
It will.
Yeah, it'll definitely, just on name alone, it's going to make some money. Yeah.
Well, Tobin Bell,
and Tobin Bell, of course, is back. Yeah, and I think they've already thrown I've not even seen the trailer, but I know that Shawnee Smith is going to be in there to some extent, right? So I mean that's going to bring some people in. And then what blew my mind is the images that I saw of Donnie Wahlberg in the trailer. in the background blew my mind. He's back. Wasn't Donnie Wahlberg in those movies? Or am I being a
Yeah, he
total
was.
ass?
I thought.
No,
Okay.
he was.
Okay,
He
so
was.
I'm totally joking. I just wanted to throw a Donnie Wahlberg reference out there. So
Though I wonder when they're actually going to finally have the final crossover. Since there's 10 Saws, there's 10 Fast and the Furious. A crossover between the two of them.
That I would see.
okay, Saw meets Fast and the Furious. Now I would have to watch that. I'm sorry, I would have to watch that.
He's got the charger just hooked up to some nipple rings on Dom.
Oh,
Vin
God.
Diesel.
It doesn't matter. Tobin Bell. Sorry, Tobin Bell will just be
No,
family in the next one anyway, so
He
it
would,
doesn't matter.
exactly.
I do want to see Jigsaw, just the car pull up and he just gets out. Might as well now. We got Brie Larson in those movies now and all sorts of crazy stuff. So
Or like the little doll that's like does like burnouts in the tricycle.
yeah, strap a rocket launcher to it and just go.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes. Ah, jeez, good stuff. So we got some horror coming up. Everybody seems excited for. So I want to talk about Shudder. I got an email. Shudder's raising their prices. I think it's only like $1 a month though. So I mean, it's not a huge increase, but it's something I think we all kind of knew was coming. And I want that to kind of segue into this whole, the stuff with the strike and whatnot, and what I think the real issue, the real bottom line here is with it. But anybody concerned about? I know we talked probably, I think it was back before the new year about Shudder may be in some trouble, but they've stuck it out, and only now they're raising the prices, and they're only raising it $1. So I mean, Matt,
I'm just, it's not just Shudder. It seems like everybody's raising their prices. I know, because I have YouTube Premium. That went up $1. Spotify went up $1.
Peacock went up $1, I think, too.
Yeah, Peacock. So it seems like it's going up across the board. I still think Shudder is an extremely good value for the money. I would pay much more than that for it if that's what it came down to. I'm glad that they're only raising it $1, but I'm not. I think a lot of people would be in the same boat as me. I think if they had to do what they had to do to survive, I think a lot of people would pitch in. But so I'm not worried about it. But it is, it is what it is.
Right.
I watch more on Shudder than I do Netflix, and I pay twice as much just about for Netflix at this point. So
at least,
actually more, yeah. So yeah, I still think it's a good value. It sucks because everything is going up, but I don't think it's that outrageous price increase. When I see Netflix do it, I'm like, how much do I really watch on Netflix?
Yeah.
Just holding out for Stranger Things.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, at this point, because I feel like I've probably watched a handful of Netflix originals this year, and I probably couldn't even remember one of them right now. It's few and far between. It's always just they spend ridiculous amounts of money on some of these original movies. I heard something which I got to imagine is fake, but that The Rock is getting like $50 million for some Christmas thing, and I'm like, there is no way. There is no way that that's going to be worth it.
Unless it's Santa's Sleigh 2.
Santa's Sleigh 2 with Ryback, though, Chris.
Oh, that's true. Ryback.
That's his rule. That's his rule. Can't take that from Ryback.
Speaking of Ryback, I went down this rabbit hole of Ryback and his stalker. Are you guys familiar with Ryback's stalker?
I'm very familiar. That was...
That's Dan.
I swear it's not me. But... yeah, no, and he like taunted him kind of for like 2 hours, like just on his show.
Yeah,
which was kind of wild. It's like, I'm gonna shoot you at your house. It's like, no, you're not. You suck.
Yeah.
Like back and forth.
And what's funny is like they've apparently met face to face, but like Ryback doesn't know the guy or something. Like the guy is apparently either a wrestler or he was friends with the wrestler. He got access to backstage at WWE, and like, I don't know. It's just a weird, crazy story. And the guy just is,
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very much insane.
But Ryback takes it pretty, he stays pretty cool under the collar. I'll give him that.
Yeah. Interesting strategy taunting him, but I respect it. So
man. Yeah, it back to streaming. Yeah, I've not had Netflix in a while. It got to the point where, like, I wasn't watching it, and I'm just giving money out, just giving them money for nothing. And like I'm about that way at this point with Peacock, because the only reason I was really I subscribed to Peacock for, I don't even remember what the movie was, but I stuck around for The Office, and now I've not even watched Peacock at all, and I don't know how long. So I'm about to cancel them. Isn't even Amazon Prime's going up too, isn't it?
Yeah,
Probably.
I think so. That's kind of almost essential at this point for me, but everything's going up. I will say, before you cancel Peacock, I'm only a few in, but Twisted Metal, which I'm not a gamer at all, so I don't know anything about the video game. Kind of a fun Death Race 2000 kind of popcorn show.
Okay.
30 minutes might be worth checking out.
Okay. I'll Twisted Metal. I'll make a note of Twisted Metal here. Okay. All right. Cool.
The only thing that works for streaming is probably live sport. Other than that, like I'm amazed that Netflix hasn't got into like showing any live sports or anything like that.
That would make sense.
That's a good point. Yeah,
because it's a lot of people. Well, a lot of people just pirate movies. If a new movie drops, they just go to the pirate sites. It requires a bit more now, still a bit more. Yeah, so when it comes to live sports, a lot of the sort of more casual streamers, it requires a little bit more knowledge of how to like get the live sports illegally. So it would make sense for like a lot of these like streaming services to maybe get onto the live sports a bit more, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of people out there who, if a new movie drops on Netflix or Amazon Prime, it's going to drop on one of the the go-to sites. There's plenty of them online. They can just watch the movie. To watch live sports, it requires a little bit more. You can't just. You know what I mean? So it requires maybe to actually subscribe to a subscription service, and Netflix getting involved with maybe the NFL, or I don't know about American sports, but getting involved with like football and baseball, and it would make sense for them, because Netflix has got that brand recognition, and Amazon Prime have got that brand and they've got the money as well. I mean, Shudder. Well, I mean, is Shudder connected to Amazon Prime now? Are they somehow connected to? Because
I think it is, because that's how like Sam has Shudder. It's through her Amazon Prime.
You can pay for it through Amazon. Yeah.
Like in Australia, I need 3 different streaming services to watch our local soccer league. I need 1 streaming service to watch the EPL. I need another streaming service, and to watch the Champions League, I need another streaming service.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy.
Wow, they're nickel and diming you to death over there. We've got somebody in the green room. He's arrived finally.
Lord.
Oh, good.
Swaggy G. Swaggy, how's it going, man?
What's up?
Gentlemen, how are y'all doing?
Good, man. How's it going?
Good. Thanks for doing the stream, Piz.
I was getting concerned. You're usually here on time. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Explain yourself. Where have you been? Where's your excuse?
All right, my brother bought the old school Centipede arcade game that stands up from like 1980 that you would play at your local Pizza Hut.
Oh.
and he bought it over the weekend, and he didn't have anybody to help him unload it today. So, and that thing was heavy as hell.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The CO2 monitor alone is like 200 pounds.
That's what I was like. Why is this thing so heavy? And yeah, it had the monitor is probably what it is. Yeah,
Wow.
because there's not much behind it in the guts. You know,
Where did he find that thing at?
Well, we're near Atlanta, and there was a gaming convention over the weekend in Cobb County.
Okay.
So
That's
but
good.
yeah, he's into like pinball and all that kind of stuff that people kind of forgot about now. But
I love pinball.
yeah, you don't really see too many of those machines anymore. But
there is a place an hour from here up in Austin. Actually, there's several up in Austin of like pinballs. They have like it's like an arcade kind of thing, but they focus mainly on pinball. Each location has at least like 50 pinball machines or 60.
Well,
That's interesting. Yeah, there's actually there's a pinball museum not far from where I live, and they've got some horror machines. So and Jeremy's wanting to go and try them out. So we'll probably go.
Because I've played the Freddy Krueger one, I've played the Twilight Zone one, I've played several like horror ones like Elvira.
yeah.
my brother has the Elvira one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And that Freddy Krueger one's that's what, anytime he runs across that, he always lets me know.
Yeah, I've played the Freddy one, I've played the Elvira one, and I believe this one has a Halloween one as well.
Okay.
So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool.
But well, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it, Piz.
Yeah, no, it's good to see you, man. How's everything going? Have you seen anything good lately?
I went and saw, this isn't horror, but I did go to the theater and see the new Mission Impossible movie.
No. How was it?
Long. It's 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's just part one. So you get your money's worth.
Okay. All right.
Have you seen Oppenheimer?
No, I haven't seen that yet. Yeah, I love
That's
Christopher
long.
Nolan.
It's
That's
that
long.
one's 3 hours, but it doesn't feel
Yeah.
like it to me.
That's good. What were your thoughts on Barbie, Swaggy?
Because you're the target audience.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
that one hasn't hit me yet.
Okay.
But
You
I
just-
will say, I did experience something called the Screen X experience, where you have the main screen obviously in front of you, but then you got the two screens on the side that kind of fill into the main screen.
Oh.
Yeah. So there's
Okay.
side stuff going on besides just the screen right in front of you. So
Well, that's interesting.
yeah.
Oh, cool.
So
All right.
you can like watch something else if the movie's too boring. Like, oh, I gotta watch this over here, kind of stuff, or what?
Let me see what these extras are doing over here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But it was the first time I feel like I've been to the movie theater and there was not a single preview before the movie.
Oh, I don't know
Yeah.
what that's like. I don't know what
Yeah, I don't
that's
know what that's like either.
You know, they had like the standard, run of the mill, turn your cell phone off commercial. But then the movie just started.
Oh, weird. Yeah, because the closest theater to me is Regal, so I see that stupid Regal commercial every fucking time I go to the movies.
Do you have those Mary Menounos things where she's
Yes.
like, oh
And that
my
stupid laugh she gives.
and it's like the same thing for the past, I don't know how long. Like she does her little thing and she laughs and then she interviews this little girl.
Oh, exactly. Like, oh, who's giving her the answers? And like,
Yeah.
shut up.
It's like,
Shut up.
can you not? That's been before every movie I've seen there for the past 2 years. Change it up. You know what I mean? Like interview
had-
somebody else.
We've had Nicole Kidman for the last
Yeah.
few years now at AMC, so that gets a little. Yeah, usually I'll be just texting with Todd, and it's like I got to shut up now. Nicole's on. That's sort of the gag now.
But yeah, before the movie began, it had like Tom Cruise talking about, the joy
Scientology?
of the movie theater, and this is why I make movies. And I remember that from the Top Gun movie.
Yeah. Was he like on the wing of a plane in midair while he was giving this little speech? That's usually where you find Tom Cruise.
You know, obviously the big thing now with the Mission Impossible is the stunts. And, you know, the big one for that one is the motorcycle where he goes off the cliff or jumps off the cliff with it. Normally, you know, you would see the person wearing a helmet, and because then you could just have the stunt person doing it.
Yeah.
But not Tom Cruise. He wanted you to know it was him because he was not wearing a helmet. He just had goggles on. And I was like, I hear you, man.
He wants the audience to get their money's worth. So he will put himself in peril just for our entertainment. God bless him. God
Yeah,
bless
I mean, it was overall, you know, I mean, I like that franchise. So I'm a big fan of that.
I think it peaked at Mission Impossible 2. I mean, once you bring John Woo into the mix, it's all downhill from there. You know what I
That's
mean?
the last one I saw. It was like, I remember seeing the old TV series when I was a kid. Then I saw the first 2 in the theaters, and I was like, give up after that.
I mean, Tom Cruise in slow motion with doves flying around him. It doesn't get any better than that.
I checked out for a while after. That's a very John Woo movie, not necessarily in a good way. There's the scene where, like, I think it was DeRay Scott's girlfriend or something is just walking to him, and I think it's like a 5-minute walk just at the beginning.
And then she jumps.
Yeah,
That's that's Woo. That's Woo for you. So, speaking of which, I've been in a real mood to watch Hard Target here lately, so I'm gonna have to dust off my Blu-ray of Hard Target and pop that.
that is a
in.
great movie.
That is good. That is good Woo. That is woo.
Yes, yes.
That is good stuff.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. I love it when he drops a grenade in Lance Henriksen's pants. It's
Yes, yes. He pulls it out and screws the top off of it. He's like, ooh, and it sparks. He goes, ooh, and it just blows him. Love it.
I will recommend Surviving the Game with Ice-T as a double bill.
Oh,
I love that movie. It needs
I
to
love
come
that
to
movie
Blu-ray.
yeah, love that movie too. Yeah, great freaking movie.
You didn't get on 4K, Piz?
Hard Target. No, I heard there were issues with that 4K actually. So
Okay.
I just stuck with my Blu-ray until I heard, you know, those issues had been resolved or whatnot. So, but yeah, I mean, I definitely need it in 4K. That's for sure. Also love Face Off. Another great Woo. Lots of good Woo in that one.
Yes.
So. Swaggy, we were talking about streaming services. How many streaming services are you currently subscribed to?
3 of them.
3, okay. And all of the prices have recently gone up, right?
I think honestly, I don't know if they have. I'm trying to think. Because Amazon, that hasn't really changed much. I know my Disney Plus one did, but
Okay.
I heard that. Yeah, I think Flesh Wound. He let me know that Shudder was increasing.
Shudder's gone up a whole buck. Yep.
But I mean, that's still a great deal.
It is.
It is. That, and I mean, Screambox is coming up. I don't think they're overtaking Shudder yet, but they've been putting out some interesting stuff. So, yeah.
Limp Bizkit is the cherry on top of the Woo Sunday of Mission Impossible 2.
Which song was? I don't remember Limp Bizkit on that.
It's called "Take a Look Around," and it slaps so hard. Oh, it hits really. It's really good. It's really good.
Nice.
It's funny. I had to think about how many streaming services I have. I think me and Sam have like 5 or 6. We only watched like 2 or 3 because we get several of them for free through different stuff. But I was going to
so you're stealing them in other ways.
No. I was going to comment on Mike bringing up about live sports. Same thing with Michael or Mike or both Mikes as it were, bringing up live sports, and I agree with that. Is because I mainly have Peacock for WWE live events. And so that's well worth it for the couple bucks a month. So I feel like live sports can definitely help streaming services.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have Peacock if it weren't for WWE either. So,
what were you going to say, Mike?
In the UK now, I mean, because I unsubscribe. I mean, I just kind of shop and change between different streaming services depending on what they're offering. But I've never subscribed to the premium Netflix account. But in the UK now, it's £16 a month. The Netflix premium, £16 a month. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, that is.
I think that's like I don't know what the ratio to dollars is now. It's like maybe $20 a month.
That's like 30 Australian dollars, give or take.
Yeah, I'm not paying that. No way.
Yeah, no, thank you. No, thank you. Well, let's talk a little bit about. We all know that there's this strike between the Writers Guild of America and the Screen Actors Guild of America, and it's really just kind of turned the industry upside down. And there's just seems to be no end in sight because the streaming services do not want to give up their numbers. They will take those numbers with them to the absolute grave. And it's got to be deeper than just them not wanting to pay writers and actors. There's got to be something deeper than that. And it's got to be the fact that the streaming numbers are probably not very good because there's so many different platforms. And there's only not everybody can afford all of them. So I think I think the reason why they're so hesitant to give out these numbers is because the numbers aren't good. And they know that it's going to affect their stocks. And with we'll just starve out the writers and actors until they come crawling to us. That's where they're at this point. Because they don't want to give these numbers out. What's that, Mike?
I was going to say, or is it that the numbers are good and they don't want to pay the actors? Because how can Disney lose $800 million in 3 quarters? Like, that's crazy. And it's their own streaming service. It's their own content. And they still lose money on it.
Well, it's called Indiana. It's called The Last Indiana Jones Movie. It's called The Little Mermaid, whatever you want to call that.
Haunted Mansion now.
The Haunted Mansion now. Yeah. So yeah, they dump an enormous amount of money in these movies that literally no one wants to see.
Phase
4,
Phase 5 movies. Marvel's
budgets are out of control.
Marvel's failing big time. Phase 5 has done nothing. They should have taken a break after Endgame, and they didn't. They just carried on, and they've been bashing people over the head with Marvel, Star Wars endlessly for the last 5 years. People are sick of it. Star Wars isn't special anymore. Marvel isn't special anymore. It's just like I said a while ago. It's like with the TV shows now. To watch Quantumania, you really needed to have seen the Loki TV show. What? Yeah. No. It's like homework. No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, exactly. I saw somebody say that on Twitter or somewhere. Like, basically, to keep up with Marvel stuff, it's a full-time job nowadays.
Yeah,
it's like no,
it is. I mean, well, first, I do want to say, with the strikes, as somebody who tried briefly to kind of make it as an actor, and somebody that, to this day still considers getting an apartment in California, if you're on the bottom rung of that, what they are paying is pretty much impossible to survive out there. Having said that, it's kind of a complex issue because somebody had posted something about a $300 check for some streaming thing. And I get that, like, maybe that's insulting to them, but if nobody's watching it, the pie's not that big. So some of the increases that they want, it's not necessarily, I mean, I do think some of the executives at the top have to take a cut too, because there's one guy that I think is making $500 million a year. I mean, that's like, okay, business is down. You might have to lead by example and cut at the top too. But it's a more complex issue. They have to be careful with some of these budgets are insane. A lot of this Marvel stuff that they have slated for the next few years, are, I mean, it's like screaming, like just I will go flush half the money down the toilet and you'll come out better off. Nobody's going to want to see it. If stuff like Flash is failing right now, then these movies are too. I don't see a lot of people wanting to go out and see Blue Beetle. No offense. There's probably some hardcore comic fans that love the Blue Beetle, but a casual guy like me, I don't give a crap.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm burnt out on it all now. Having to watch like 30 streaming series to keep up with all these stories. You know, I like the original Star Wars trilogy. You know, I don't want to watch 30 spin-offs. You know, it's just too much. And a lot of it's mediocre. And it's going to get worse when you keep trying to, you know, okay, we're going to have Jabba's concubine and she's going to have a spin-off show. And it's like, guys,
or that
on.
elephant guy who was in the band. He's going to have his own little spin-off show.
Exactly.
That's where it's going. Does anybody know what constitutes as like a watch on it? When you got a streaming service, so when they calculate the numbers, what constitutes as watching a show? Just clicking on for 1 minute and then clicking off. Is that classed as? Is it like YouTube? I mean, how does it work?
Well, I mean, we don't know because they don't explain that. They just throw these numbers out there, and
I think they can tell.
Just throw numbers out there.
I think they can tell if you click on something and you watch it all the way through, or if you only watch it halfway or 3/4 way through. That's why a lot of Netflix TV series gets cancelled after one season, because people don't watch it all the way through. They only watch a little bit of it. I'm guessing. I don't know.
But no, it's true. They can tell. It's just they don't want to tell the general public about it.
Right.
Because as Piz pointed out, their stocks are going to plummet from these things. Like, oh, you say you have these high numbers,
exactly,
but those are just initial views. Those aren't continuous watchers to continue on.
Yeah, there's no delineation between what they like. This is they clicked on this and they watched the whole thing. They know, but they won't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because I was going to say, going back to like Netflix back in the day, it's like you don't see the big event things anymore where it's like, oh, we should watch this new show on Netflix. You don't see that anymore, like Stranger Things. That was a cultural phenomenon. You don't have those anymore on streaming services.
They're going to milk the hell out of Stranger Things next.
Oh, they are.
Those kids are going to look older than me when they come back for the next season. You're gonna have like Dustin's got irritable bowel syndrome. That's gonna be a subplot.
Yes.
In there.
11 needs a hip replacement. You know,
heartburn.
Yeah, Mike's on a second divorce. You know, it's just like whatever.
Dealing with gout.
I mean, the same thing with Cobra Kai. Same thing with Cobra Kai. They're going to milk that to the nth degree.
Yes, does anybody think that Netflix may go one episode a week with Stranger Things season 5?
They should.
They
should.
Yeah.
I don't know if they will. They should.
Make it a Game of Thrones event where people go to bars to watch it specifically, which is what is lacking from dropping episodes in. It does take away from the experience. If you're dropping everything in one go and you have to stay off the internet for like a week, if you can't watch it, it is annoying. And Stranger Things season 5 is going to be in after, because 3 wasn't great, but 4 was so good.
4 was good.
Anybody lost faith after 3, came back to 4, and everybody's going to be on board for 5, and it's going to be massive. And it would be stupid to drop that in one hit. Stupid.
Exactly. I agree, Mike, because if you drop it all in one hit, somebody's going to I don't have Netflix. I got it. Oh, hey, I watched all Stranger Things in like a week and drop it for the next month. If you release it week by week by week, you're holding on to more people for longer.
That's what I did with Dahmer. I don't have Netflix.
That's the whole point, though. With Netflix, it's a month by month basis, so you can buy it for a month and then sign out and never come back. So if you keep people on board for 10 weeks, you've got 2 months there of them signed up.
Oh, 3 months, because you got 2 weeks. Yeah, you got 3 full months.
Yeah, 3 months. So
the binge model is going to basically die. Not for
Has to.
everything, but for event stuff. And I know a lot of people probably in the chat even don't like that, but in terms of business, 100% it makes more sense to make you wait in between for Stranger Things.
Yeah.
And
I probably enjoy it more waiting once a week for a new episode because you got something to look forward to.
Exactly.
yeah.
It goes back to
it's
that water
better.
cooler event where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, hey, I'm talking at work about this thing we just watched together.
Yeah.
It's good because we're all becoming less and less sort of. Everyone's becoming more like separated from each other with the internet. Even though we can all connect, we're all becoming more like separated because we can all just like do our own little thing in our own little corner. But to have that weekly event of a TV show which we all love, we can all come together and talk about it online. It's good in that respect. It is a good thing to move away from that binge model for certain, not for everything, but for certain TV shows. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if they were to drop like, let's just say they dropped like, for instance, a Halloween show or a Friday the 13th show that we all just happen to love. It's unlikely, but we all happen to love. Wouldn't that be good? If it was a weekly thing and we could all come together every week and just talk about it rather than.
Just machine gunning every episode and staying up till 4 o'clock in the morning because you can't stop in the middle. You know what I mean? So
I think they'll do that with Wednesday season 2. Whenever that comes out, I think that'll be once a week episode.
But I mean, you hit on something there, Mike, about the whole water cooler talk. I mean, there's not been a show that I know of, since really The Walking Dead or Game of Thrones, that's been like that water cooler, like, everybody the next day after the last episode aired, everybody, oh my God, you know what I mean? Like they ate his guts, or, it's like, oh my God,
well, as well as
you just never, that's not happening anymore.
Well, also going to say though is with those week by week, you could also generate more attention for the shows by having all these different YouTube channels or whatever, like having theories, like, hey, this happened this week. I noticed this.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
This is in the background. Kind of like looking forward to theories for next week, kind of stuff like that. You generate more buzz. You generate more attention for things.
And that's one of the smart things that The Walking Dead did in their day was they had the post show where they would have these people speculating about next week's episode, and they bring on cast members like whoever had just been eaten alive in the last episode, they brought them on to talk about it, and then they'd speculate about who was going to get eaten alive next, and then so on and so forth. So
you had to watch Walking Dead that night or you were going to be spoiled.
Oh yeah,
on
absolutely.
Facebook. I mean, that hasn't been that way for several seasons, but yeah, it used to be crazy. Like, you better sit down and watch it that night.
Yeah,
I feel like kind of Last of Us kind of hit on some of that. I mean, in my opinion, at least the people that I talk to locally. So
yeah, I like Last of Us. I knew nothing about the game on that one either.
Goodness gracious. So yeah, I don't know. We'll I do. I mean, do you? A lot of people have talked about with this strike that it may end up leading to like a whole new, truly independent film revolution, like going back to the old United Artists days of making movies, and maybe a reset in a way is not a bad thing. Because like we'd mentioned before, the budgets are out of control. The movies that are being produced are not very good, honestly, or they're movies that people really don't give two craps about. That's why they're tanking at the box office.
I've heard that exact theory online, where somebody was talking about it. The last time the writers and actors striked at the same time was back in the 60s. And at the time, budgets kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Then both parties, striked, and then it kind of did a big reset. And then we had that resurgence in the 70s with all these amazing movies that were very low budget, very kind of like small piece period things that brought everybody back to the theaters, brought stories back, and all these things kind of revitalized the movie industry.
I mean, something's got to give, right? Like it can't go on forever like this. Obviously.
Obviously,
Like
yeah.
the problem is these studios, they want to make one movie for 300 million and make $1 billion instead of making one movie for 20 million and making 200 million. That's the whole problem now.
Well, exactly, and that's what happened last time too, because like back in the 50s and 60s, like Cleopatra, like Ben-Hur, like all these huge multi-million-dollar movies that were like stupid expensive at the time were kind of just barely breaking even, and then the strike in the 60s kind of reset everything. So we had the 70s with Taxi Driver, Rebel Without not Rebel Without a Cause. I'm trying to think of the motorcycle one.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Easy Rider.
Easy Rider. Thank you. Easy Rider. Exactly. A lot of these kind of like smaller budget, kind of like smaller, really focused movies that really brought back audiences and really kind of revitalized movies.
That would be good. I mean, that would be good.
Mm-hmm.
That would be good.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Enough with the universes. Let the
Mhm.
universes go. Enough with the $300 million nostalgia movies that really
Yeah.
nobody wants to see.
Exactly. Or like $100 million CGI budget of just like, come on, guys. It's just practical effects are great. It costs $100. It looks cool.
Yeah.
And I think there's if there's a reason why a lot of people aren't sympathetic toward, especially I think when it comes to the writers, or I'm not the writers, well, the writers and the actors, honestly, is because we just came out of an era of people telling us that this movie's not for you. And a very divisive, politically driven era where, we were blamed for movies not performing up to par. Or, it's our fault that we didn't embrace, this basically the same movie, just with a different lead character the same character, just of a different nationality. Or, I mean, the list goes on and on. It's our fault. Okay, so we're just going to stop watching. We're just going to stop caring. And I think, I don't know. Part of me wants to believe that some of this indifference toward the strikes from people that I see on social media is because of that. And I don't know. I think the industry kind of shot themselves in the foot a little bit, honestly.
It's difficult to be sympathetic with because so many people like actors and people like are on social media now, because a lot of them spend a lot of time on Twitter and other social media outlets just basically telling you that they don't like you based on I mean, this is more of an American thing, but a lot of like American actors especially seem to be, if you're of a certain political persuasion, then I hate your guts. Now, it's very difficult for that person on the receiving end to have any sort of sympathy if something's not going their way. It's like, well, you've just told me for the last 3 or 4 years that you don't like me because of a certain opinion, and now you expect me to feel sorry for you because you're like, sorry, no, keep your political opinions to yourself if you want sympathy further down the line, Yeah.
I saw an old interview with Matthew McConaughey where he said it perfectly. He said, I don't talk about my politics publicly because whichever way you go, you're going to turn off 50% of your audience.
Yeah. Even if you're middle of the road, you're going to turn off someone.
Exactly.
You're never going to please everybody.
Exactly. So keep that to yourself, and just do your work and you know what I mean. You're going to be fine. But I mean, remember during the pandemic where you had all of these actors on social media talking about how awful their lives were during the pandemic. Really? Really? You're having a hard time. I feel really sorry for you. They're do you remember the
Imagine?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
And then Mansion.
Just thinking about that now, these years later, makes my blood boil. Like all of those people should be lined up and punched in the face. Every one of them. That was paramount being out of touch. That's like you are so out of touch. How do we even breathe the same air? It's
Don't.
Exactly.
Pretty
As
much.
well as a lot of these Hollywood celebrities, like either Ellen DeGeneres or like other things, like I'm stuck in my home, this giant mansion, while
Mhm.
everybody else is stuck in these 400, concrete squares of
Yeah.
apartments in
Or-
these big
or-
cities.
Or God forbid they have a public facing job where they have to go out and into the world.
Exactly.
It's like,
It's like, you better stay home. Like, I work at the grocery store. I work at
Yeah.
the doctor's office. I have to go. Like, no, you better stay home.
Mhm.
It's like, what?
Do you remember like, when movie stars, you knew that movie stars back in the golden age, you knew they thought they were better than us, but they didn't tell us. But like,
yeah,
they didn't
right.
pretend.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of like, they pretend that they're like us, or in some ways pretend that they're better than us. Like, because we're all for climate change and we're this, although we get private jets everywhere. They just
Yeah.
they just like, how many more times is Leonardo DiCaprio going to bang on about climate change whilst getting on a private jet to go to a film award show, whilst belittling me, who hasn't been on a plane in 15 years? It's just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, how out of touch are these people? It's just mind-boggling.
I think a lot of it is with social media, because before we only had interviews with them or we saw them in acting roles, so you didn't really get their opinion very often. Nowadays, they're just free to say whatever they want, and they didn't learn, oh, I better just shut up and just keep my opinion to myself.
What does Twitter look like in like golden age Hollywood, or even go into the 70s? Like, does Charles Bronson post photos of his dinner? Like, I don't know.
Can you imagine Richard Burton's Twitter?
Richard Burton's definitely
That
getting
would be
kicked off
entertaining.
Twitter.
I want to
Oliver Reed?
follow. I was going to say I want to follow Oliver Reed on Twitter in the 60s. That's what I want to follow.
Oliver Reed just goes live from random places, just beating the shit out of somebody. This guy looked at me cross-eyed, and he's just hammering him.
I highly recommend a book called Hellraisers. It's about Richard Burton, Oliver Reed, Peter O'Toole, and Richard Harris.
Yeah, but Oliver Reed is like
there.
right at the
Yeah.
top. That
Yeah.
dude was an animal. I had a conversation once with Richard Lynch, just in general about old Hollywood, and I don't know what started it, but he started just talking about, people think because of these reality shows that Hollywood's so wild now. It's like these guys were
Wow.
shit.
Oh, yeah.
I can tell you, you can go back to the 20s and like there is stuff that not even close. Like this, it would shock you, some of the stuff that isn't even out there. And Oliver Reed, party animal of all time. Nobody touches Oliver Reed.
Where's the Oliver Reed biopic?
There needs to be one.
And who could play Oliver Reed?
We can pull that off.
Damn.
I don't know. It might actually be kind of funny to see like Russell Crowe try and do it.
Russell, that's who I was like.
Yeah,
He could do
he'd be
it.
good.
He could do
Kind
it.
of a-
Russell Crowe could do it.
gladiator connection.
If Christopher Walken had Facebook Live back in the day, we know who murdered that one woman.
Yeah. I feel like that whole thing would probably be really stupid. Like they were just playing, I don't know, football and just knocked her in or something. I don't know. But yeah, no, I think everybody would be canceled. We wouldn't have even that generation of movie stars.
no.
They'd all be gone.
They'd all be canceled. Yeah. Dennis Hopper canceled.
Hopper's gone.
Immediately gone.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's like they wouldn't even have a career. It would be ended before they even
No.
began. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, could you imagine Lee Marvin just spilling out every random thought on social media? He'd be gone in a second.
What could have been?
Could have been, I know. Yeah. Or could you imagine a live stream like this with Bronson and Marvin? You know what I mean? And then then Bronson's like, "Hold on, Lee, we've got a guest here. What's up, Oliver Reed?"
They just start talking about aliens and ayahuasca. I want the Charles Bronson, Oliver Reed like ayahuasca trip stories. I think that would be fascinating. They cancel like all of the Dirty Dozen, just gone, recast.
Mhm.
Oh, jeez.
All gone.
What a world. What a world we live in. Oh, Jesus. We got off on a tangent there, but I liked it. I liked it. I've covered pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about tonight. Is there anything you guys want to
Oh, did you
discuss?
want to do the topic about Disney stop doing physical media?
Oh, yes, exactly. Thank you, Chris. I almost forgot about that. Yes, Disney has canceled physical media to foreign markets. I think it's only a couple of foreign markets.
Australia.
Australia is one.
Yeah.
Michael, wave goodbye to your Disney physical media over there, man.
Oh, I won't be able to buy Marvel movies. I'm so upset.
Is it just going into the vault?
I was
is
going to make
it-
the joke about like everything goes to the vault
there's
forever.
something there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
vault's closed.
Vault's closed. Suckers.
But this could be a tester that a lot of studios will be looking at, like, okay, do we follow suit? Is physical? Do we even? I mean, I think we all kind of knew at some point the big studios were all going to be like, yeah, physical media, whatever. Let's just put them on streaming, And this may be the beginning of that. I don't know. But yeah, Disney is canceling physical media distribution to Australia, and I think there was one other country too. Let me see.
I think Asia, Latin America, somewhere in Latin America.
I think
Yeah, I
like
remember.
New Zealand, haven't they kind of?
I mean, that's
dropped physical media?
technically Australia too.
Why'd they pick Australia? Did they just not? Is that just not a good market? I guess.
Maybe not a good
Um,
market.
Yeah.
Them shipping
Yeah.
costs.
I don't know. I don't know why they're picking on us. No idea.
It's either shipping costs or they're former criminals. I don't know what's going on. But
Yeah, we're former criminals. That's 100%. But we don't get any good. We don't get any good releases anyway. Like I import 99% of my stuff anyway, so it's not like it worries me one bit. Like
Maybe that just wasn't like you say. Maybe that just wasn't a very good market for their physical media, so they're just like, okay, we'll cut that off. But
see, I don't
Well-
know why, because Disney Plus is all over Bluey right now. That's like I have a niece and she loves Bluey, so like I know that's super huge with the kids. So that's all. That's Australia. I don't know why they're like hurting on Australia right now.
yeah,
so I mean that it could be a sign of things to come. I don't know, but
like
Disney endearing themselves as always to movie fans.
Mm-hmm.
look, I was thinking we've still got Scream Factory, Vinegar Syndrome, Second Sight releasing stuff. We'll be fine. But once they start to go, then start the panic. I think.
Mm-hmm. Well, you've got Umbrella over there. You've got Viavision over there. Imprint.
Yeah, but it feels like Umbrella and Viavision, it's sort of come on a tail end of the death of physical media in Australia. Like to me, like it's like Viavision and that. It's not as good as Vinegar Syndrome or Shout Factory.
Mm-hmm.
Like I find.
Yeah.
Or Second Sight.
Right. I mean, that's true. That's true. They're not
Are
quite
their
on that.
prices good?
Well, which ones? Viavision or Imprint? It's about $30 Australian, 35. It's not like an average 4K movie is about $40 Australian. But then when I import something like the Second Sight, It Follows box set that's coming out, that's costing me $100 Australian.
Okay.
And same with Vinegar Syndrome, I think it cost me an average of $60. Same with Scream Factory. So like I'm used to paying import prices now, so it doesn't worry me that much because I know we won't get it in Australia.
Okay. Well, and speaking of Scream Factory, I know we had some conversation in the chat earlier about Jeff Nelson recently left Scream Factory. He'd been there since the very beginning, and so he is no longer with Scream Factory, and that can't be a good sign for Scream Factory, I think, unless he's maybe moving on to a different company or maybe wanting to start his own company. I don't know.
Scream Factory just re-releasing everything on 4K. What was the last? Everybody wants a Nightmare on Elm Street box set from Scream Factory. Is that going to happen? We don't know, but
No, it's not. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's just.
They are releasing site exclusives. A lot of the Corman stuff, you're paying at least $30 for them.
Yeah,
but there is a lot of website exclusives on the Shout site. But other than that, it just feels like they're rolling everything into 4K.
They're rolling. Yep, they're re-releasing everything in 4K, and I don't know. To me, it's not because they had their big collector's edition releases. Then they did steelbooks. Now they're doing 4Ks. It's the same thing over and over again with the occasional, like Dan said, like the side exclusive, Corman sort of deep cut, like Demon Lover or something like that, popping off, So I don't know. Scream Factory's not been at the top of that hill, the physical media hill, in a while. No. So they've been doing some slipping, and it doesn't look like they're trying to change that, to be honest.
It doesn't seem like they have anything up their sleeve other than more 4Ks.
Yeah, they're just resting on that back catalog, and
they're giving up. It seems like a lot of titles are just slipping through the cracks, starting to anyway.
Mm-hmm.
From Beyond, Texas Chainsaw 2.
Yeah,
just to name a couple. Vinegar. I'd much rather Vinegar Syndrome have them, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But just is what it is.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe rough roads ahead for Vinegar Syndrome, or not Vinegar Syndrome, but Scream Factory. What were you gonna say, Dan?
Well, Todd Loya of Flesh Wound Features did do some work on some upcoming Scream Factory stuff. So keep an eye out. There are some good 4Ks. I believe some have been announced today. And Chris McGibbon, who I started in radio, he's going to maybe have some more to say about those Night of the Demons 4Ks soon. I don't know when, but soon on our channel. Okay. I can tell you, even though I'm not allowed to say anything, those are going to be stacked, and there's some really interesting stuff for Night of the Demons fans. So,
cool.
So at least those. I don't know about what else they've got, but
I like Night of the Demons too. That'll be I'll pick that one up on 4K. I'll get 3 too. 3's not great, but
not been available in this quality for sure. So I think it'll do well.
Yeah. So I'll definitely add those to the collection.
Yeah. And there's other things coming, I think, that people will be happy with. But if you're a Night of the Demons fan, Chris, ask him. He knows everything. He's like the ultimate super fan. So yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. And again, just a reminder that TerrorVision tonight at midnight are going to be announcing 20 plus new Blu-ray and 4K titles, and I've heard that some of them are going to be are pretty big. That's what I've heard. So
yes,
we got Crack Rock in the chat tonight. What's up, Crack Rock? That is his mugshot there, by the way. He loves those. He loves posting his own mugshots.
That's one of the best names.
It is. It truly is. It truly is. There's no doubt about that. I do, I might actually double dip on The Blob to get it in 4K. I love that movie so much. So
the one from the 80s?
Yeah.
I still need to see that because I was shot like 20 minutes from my old home.
That is excellent.
So good. It's
really good movie.
It looks good. I just never get around to it. I don't know why.
As long as they don't region lock it like people underneath the stairs, I'll be okay.
Mm-hmm. Big Crack Rock says, that's way back before I was a reformed citizen.
Yeah. Oh, also, I was say, speaking of the Blob in the '80s, that that opening scene where it goes to the graveyard to the high school, kind of stuff like that. That opening shot, that's actually next door to where my great grandmother used to live. She lived the other side of the street from that graveyard.
No way. That's
I saw that. I was like, I know that place.
That's cool.
neat.
Yeah, that's awesome. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we call tonight?
No, you talked about double dipping on the Blob, but is anybody picking up the Hellraiser 4K?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I pre-ordered mine. Had to do it.
How much is it?
It looks like an awesome set.
I don't know the conversion. I think it's 100 British pounds or whatever.
I think
I
it's 55 euro. I think it's costing me 120. That's Australian, so.
Okay.
I think it cost me $100 after conversion.
Well, Dan had mentioned that there might be a US release in the near future.
Yeah, I'm just guessing kind of on that one, but I have a very strong feeling. So I'm as big of a Hellraiser fan as they come, but I'm giving it a minute before I bite. But 4K is region free, so if you don't care,
I wanted that Chatterer exclusive. So
that one looked really cool. Yeah.
So is it all of them, including the new one, or
it's just 1 through 4?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just 1 through 4.
Yeah, I'd like to see a physical of the newer one, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Didn't it get a UK release?
Actually, I think it did. I think it may have. Yeah.
I think maybe only on DVD. I think.
See that? I don't know.
There's some bootlegs out there, but I don't know if there were any official releases.
I wonder why only on DVD. That's odd.
Well, like here in Australia, we got X on DVD, but we got Pearl on Blu-ray. Like, it's just weird how stuff gets released.
That's weird. Collector's OCD. It's like some of these TV sets that'll start out on Blu-ray, then it's like, oh, here's the DVD. We're not doing a Blu-ray of season 4.
Yeah,
that gets me. Collector's OCD on that.
Yeah, there's a series I watch that just had like the entire series come out, but it's only on DVD. I'm like, but you had Blu-ray before. Now you have the whole series on DVD. Why DVD?
Sells better. I mean, that's the short answer.
That's the short answer. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Maybe does it sell better, or is it cheaper to make?
Cheaper. Well, yeah, that too.
I think both. Both, really. Yeah.
They should have just discontinued DVD when Blu-ray came out. That's the biggest problem. I think if they just discontinued DVD when Blu-ray came out.
Yeah.
I don't know if they had done that. I don't know. Well, maybe more people would have adopted.
Isn't DVD still out before Blu-ray?
I think it does.
Yeah.
But like
it will.
Most things are Blu-ray players nowadays. It's not like we're waiting for like a VHS player or some kind of shit.
I don't even know if you can buy a DVD player.
Exactly. But nothing is like specific DVD. It's Blu-ray that plays DVDs.
Exactly. Like
so it's like
buys just a DVD player.
Yeah.
At Goodwill, you can still get
a Goodwill, right.
With your CRT monitors.
It might have a VHS connect to it.
Yeah.
I think the reason like Blu-ray why DVD still outperforms Blu-rays, DVD came at a time when the older generation were just getting into they transferred from VHS to DVD. And then when DVD transferred to Blu-ray, streaming was becoming a thing, and all the younger generation just immediately migrated straight to streaming, whereas the older generation were too far gone to sort of convert, and they were just like DVD. So they just stuck, even though Blu-ray made more sense. It may have even been the same price. The mindset of a 55, 60-year-old is, well, I'm just buying Blu-ray because it's Blu-ray. I mean, sorry, I'm just going to buy DVD because that's what I buy, DVD. The younger generation
where I work is equivalent to like a Walmart in America, and I've been there for like 16 years, and I was in the electrical section. I remember when I first started, we used to have like DVD sales, and we used to get in like Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin titles, and like we'd only get in maybe 4 copies, and like the people lose their minds over these movies. Like it was just crazy, like how how big DVD was back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Blue-
I worked. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying Blu-ray got a bad start because of the market crash. I mean, it came out, at least here in the US, right when the economy took a big
Yeah, but then you had HD DVD too, so you had those two formats. If
yeah.
that
Yeah.
also didn't help because I invested in HD DVD,
I did too.
and
At first.
and yeah,
It's unfortunate, but yeah, it did get a really bad start with the competition, and then
Are those HD DVD movies? Are they worth a fair bit of money now? The ones which like certain like horror specific
Nah.
titles, or
I don't
like
think
a Laserdisc kind of thing.
Cheaper than DVDs in some cases.
yeah, a lot of them got disc rot too. That was a big issue with HD DVD. So yeah, I don't think they're really worth anything. I don't think a Laserdisc boom has happened with those, but knock on wood, maybe it will.
Yeah, it could. But I mean,
I'll
I
just
see
say-
them sometimes at like my Goodwills and stuff, and they're like dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Also, like, what's an HD player? I know the Xbox 360 was, but I can't think beyond that one.
That's all I know. It's 360.
Mm.
If you still have one, you can pick them up cheap though.
But the 360 blows itself up, so it's kind of hard to keep on to it for longer.
Yeah, I work retail, and I worked back in the electronics department like 20 years ago. And I remember it was like Tuesdays, and you would get the widescreen and the full screen, and then there'd be a few VHSs, and they had it like in a little stand, and you'd put it out there whenever the new release came out. And
Those are like the DVDs that were like dual sided. Like one side was widescreen, the other side was a full.
they had like an
Had some-
interactive menu.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember those days.
yeah. Like how good was the House of 1,000 Corpses DVD with that interactive menu?
Oh yeah, yeah. That was cutting edge. That was pretty cutting edge at the time. Yeah.
And don't hold me to this, but I feel like that release on VHS was like the last one that was put on tape, like on a big scale or something like that. That movie was. And then after that, VHS didn't really do it anymore. I don't know where I'd heard that from, but.
I don't know.
I mean, it would make sense if it was Rob Zombie with the last VHS thing, but
Would it? Yeah, that does make perfect sense. Well, gentlemen, let's call it a night. We've been going for about 2 hours. We've covered a variety of topics in those 2 hours. That is for sure. We had a lot of discussion of Oliver Reed, which I did not expect tonight. Honestly, I did not expect that much Oliver Reed, but it happens. It just happens. Let's go around the room here. Mike, the Real Fifth Beatle, where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on YouTube, The Real Fifth Beatle, and on Twitter at BeatleReal.
And you said you just crossed 200 subscribers. Is that right?
Yeah, 200 subscribers, which is a pretty big deal for me. It took me a long time to get from 100 to 200. Hopefully, it doesn't take as long to get to 300, but
Well, congratulations, man.
Oh,
Congratulations.
means a lot.
Yeah. Dan, where can we find you, sir?
We're Flesh Wound Features here on YouTube. We might have something tonight. I may not be on it because I'll be on Gorophobe's channel talking the I Spit on Your Grave franchise. And in August, you'll see us all together in California. You can see us at XPW Genocide, where we'll have a Flesh Wound table. If you're a wrestling fan, I know we'll also be at the world premiere of We Kill for Love, the new erotic thriller documentary, which we don't have anything to do with that movie, but we're really excited for it. And that's going to be really, really awesome. So
Cool.
Catch us around California.
Cool. Awesome. Michael, where can we find you on social media?
Nah, I don't have anything, Piz. I stay off the grid. Nah.
Oh, you know what? Hey, that's
more power to you.
Your mental health is probably in a better state.
Yes.
Probably.
All right, it's been a pleasure, fellas. Thanks a lot.
All right, Michael. Take care, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Swaggy, where can we find you on social media?
I am only on Instagram, and it's John's Cool World.
John's Cool World.
That and some nature photography. That's about it.
Nature, some really nice nature photography.
Some really nice nature photography. I follow John. That's pretty good stuff.
Thank you.
Matt, where can we find you?
Dream __ emulator on Instagram and Dream Emulator on YouTube. Trying to get 10 subscribers. So
okay, guys,
I have 9. I need one more. One more subscriber.
Let's get Matt. I want you to post your YouTube channel link in the chat.
Okay.
And I want to get
what was it again?
YouTube.com/Dream Emulator. Nope, @Dream Emulator. See, I don't even know what I'm doing. This is why I only have 9 subscribers. There we go. I got it. I'll put it in the chat.
All right. It should be. Hopefully it popped up in there. Sometimes it blocks out links. I can't tell if it did or not. Send it in the private chat on here, Matt, and I'll get it out there.
Oh, it's there. I can't click on the link though.
Okay.
It'll let you. Learn.
There we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, guy. Okay, he's already at 11 subscribers.
Oh my God! Thank you.
Already at 11 subscribers.
Exceeded my expectations.
Check out his Video Vortex video. That's a really cool place.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a cool place.
And Matt does some really cool music too.
I try. Thank you.
So, all right. Chris, where can we find you on social media?
On Twitter at Bonus Pretzel, at Instagram it's that _ let me look at it real fast. I always forget. That tall _ guy _ CZ. It's gonna be the same thing on Threads. I made a Threads. I haven't used it yet, but I made one.
Okay.
Because everybody else is making one.
Okay. All right. Dream Emulator is now up to 16 subscribers.
Wow.
Yeah, I just signed up.
Oh my God. You guys are the best.
Can we get it? Okay.
Let's go for 20.
We've got less than 1 minute left. Okay. Less than 1 minute left. Can we get it to 20 subscribers? Let's go. Where are we at? Come on. We're still at 16 people.
This is great.
We're still at 16. Come on. Come on.
You got mine.
Okay. That should be 17. Come on. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get it. Got 30 seconds left. If we don't get to 20, he's going to shut his channel down.
That's right.
Exactly. Just shut
I
the
don't
whole
have
thing
a
down.
choice. It's set to self-destruct.
It's just going to self-destruct and get to 20. Oh my God. Now that is an idea for a movie right there.
There you go. It's like Speed 5 or 4 or whatever.
Exactly.
Well, it's Speed 4. They just skip through 3 because it's going so fast.
Yeah, right.
Oh God. But I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me and shooting the bull, and I appreciate y'all for being patrons.
Thank you.
And let me give a shout out to Bog Zombie for the $2 super chat. Nice shirt, Piz. Thank you very much. You should like it. You designed it. And my buddy Nico, thank you for the $10 super chat, man. Very kind of you. And let's see who's still with us here. We've got Bog Zombie in the chat. We got Big Crack Rock in the chat. We got Craven Moorhead, Punisher, Batman fan. My buddy Keith, Captain Halloween.
Different callings.
What was that? Some motivational stuff there.
I think it was
we all have different paths, different callings. That's how we're gonna end the show tonight.
Affirmations.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone say an affirmation.
Yeah. Life is a river.
Zen out.
Oh God. Let's see who's still with Scratch Burno's still here with us. Reggie 19, Mad Bull 876, the Baron's Hideout Podcast, CJM, Alan Kostick, our buddy Jess, Cable Channel 11, Mary Braven, Pepper Dion, Chris Sweet. Thank you all for tuning in. This has been a lot of fun. I appreciate it. Future Dead Camper, thank you very much. All right, let's give it one more. Let's look before we go off the air. How many are we at now? 18.
Wow.
Close.
Ooh.
We're
Well,
close.
You got my subscription.
Thank you.
Mhm.
That was, we got it close. We got it close.
Almost doubled. That's pretty
we did
good.
double.
Yeah.
Quick maths.
You know?
Wait, because he was 9 before, so he did double.
9,
So yeah.
I'm 18. Wow.
Hey, you're
That's the
welcome.
power of Piz. Yeah, thank you.
You got the piss
Power
out
of
push.
his.
Piz out push.
Power
All right.
of the piss. That's a shirt.
There you go.
That is. All right, you guys, have a good night. Thank you again for tuning in. And I got here's the only affirmation that you truly need, and it is from probably, I was going to say the greatest living poet, the greatest poet of all time, period.
He's a bad motherfucker.
Have a good night.
Good night.